Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? I've gone all the way around the outside a few times, and now I've let the hired help carry on, and there's just enough room for him to get round and do his turning on the headlands and so on. And something I just noticed is the lines in the field where they follow on behind the cultivator and so on. They appear in exactly the direction that you were driving, which is absolutely it is a little tiny detail, but I think this is absolutely brilliant. I really like that. That is something that's pretty awesome. But anyway, the question that was asked for today was, do you want me to get the conveyor mod, which is this one? Do you want me to get this conveyor mod so that I can load stuff with it? And it was actually pretty close, okay? I was worried for a minute that it wasn't going to happen. I was worried you were going to say no, but it has actually come down exactly 50-50, yes and no. So I've thought about this very carefully, and I've decided I do not want to be loading up all of this grain and everything that we're harvesting with a bucket. So I will be buying the conveyor, and as soon as I'm able to, we'll be using that one for loading up trailers and so on. So that's that one. And then the question for today, we have got, at the moment, we've got this little tiny seeder here, and this is a 3-meter working width. The amount of time it is taking me with my hired help, the amount of time it's taking to cultivate this field is going to be exactly the same when it comes to seeding it. It is going to take forever. So I want to get a different machine. And we've got this one here, which is a working width of 6 meters. And this one is also a direct drill. I'm not sure about that. I mean, we don't actually have that much in the way of other options. This one here, not really. This one's only a 3-meter working width as well. So we don't have a huge amount of options, to be honest. I would like... Hang on, let's just take a look here. This one here is a 3-meter width. This one is a 3-meter width. So we've only got 3-meter widths. The wider ones, that one, and the other wider one, which is this one. I won't be getting that one, I can promise you. That is way too big for this map. It just will not fit. That is not suited to this map at all. This one here, again, not suited to the map. It's way too big. So we are really looking at, do I get this one here, which is a direct drill, or do I find a modded one that is also 6 meters, but is not direct drill, that will require me to cultivate first? So that is the question today. Do you want me to get this Vardestad Rapid A 600S, which is a direct drill, or do you want me to find a mod seed drill that is not a direct drill? I will have to cultivate first, okay? Your choice, it's your game. And come out of there very quickly. Right, I'm going to, while he is carrying on there, I'm just going to let him carry on with that. I am going to get back up to the field of canola. We almost finished it. I've just got a little bit left to do, and then we can get moving into the next field. I've just got this little triangle left on the corner here, and we will pick that up. I'm going to do this little bit out of cab, because then we can admire this machine working in all his glory. I think this machine is absolutely fantastic. This is brilliant, and I am really looking forward to when we can actually afford to buy it and we're not really rushed for time. So if you have a look at the moment, we've got 17.5 hours left. Okay, I don't know if I can squeeze all the rest of this field into the one tank. I was kind of hoping that I could, so that I wouldn't have to bother about unloading it. But, I mean, if I can't, I can't. I'll quickly get the tractor over here, and then we'll finish it off. So I've just got this little bit here, and then that bit up there. I'm just going to pick up this little stripe that I missed as well. This is just bugging me. I'll follow it around the outside. I think it's only going to be just up and back once more, actually. There's only a little tiny bit left. And that just over there, just the other side of the hedge, that's one of the patches of forestry, actually. I'm not entirely... I think you've got to get to that via... you've got to come down a road from up near the top, rather than up from the shop. You've got to sort of turn off and follow a road down this way. I think you do. I don't think you get to it from this side. That will require a bit of looking around. I'm going to have to spend a little bit of time driving around, I think, trying to find out where that one is. Now, can I get this last little tiny bit? I've just got one little tiny bit there. We're on 96, 97%. It's going to be a really tight squeeze. No, I don't think we're going to quite do it. If it was just this little bit, we would do it. There's just that little tiny triangle there. So there's that bit. It's just that little bit over there. Just this bit. Is it going to fit? Oh, 99.6. I couldn't have planned that. I really couldn't. That's brilliant. Right, I get this unloaded and then get the combine over the other end so that we can get the header off and get us into the next field. We're going to do the field directly opposite the sheep farm and start on that barley there. I'm just going to run over and get the tractor out here. We've got the little New Holland that's parked up right there. And see if we can load up this combine without chucking the header onto the floor, because that was the biggest issue that I had when I was trying to load it up the first time. You didn't actually see that. So I am going to show you this time so we can see if I can get this thing loaded or not. I want to be facing this direction. So I just want to come straight up here and go a little bit further, about there I think. And I actually had a little bit of advice from a guy called McStallion. I have mentioned him before. He's quite a big fan of my channel, which is always appreciated. And he said that if you leave the tractor running that's on the header trailer, it's less likely to just flop off the other side. And I found when I was trying to do this last time that I actually had to have the header back further than I thought I would want it. And see, I would think that that would be about right for the header, but it seems to be a bit heavy on the front. So I was actually finding if I was to bring it further back like that, what I think would be too far might be alright. Now I can't lower it down, that didn't seem to work. I can try lowering it a bit and then letting it go at the same time. It's a very sloppy way of doing it, but I think that is the best that I'm going to get. So I'll leave the combine there a second and we'll hop into here, and I am quite grateful that that hasn't actually just fallen off. Although that's awful. That is terrible. Let's see. There's nothing on here. I can extend rent time and detach, but I can't. There isn't anything that allows me to. Can I just swing right round here? I can't, can I? I'm going to have to. There isn't anything that allows me to lock the header on. I think it just locks in place anyway, and that's kind of what I'm hoping. I am staying out of cab so that I can watch what it's doing. Unfortunately, there's no gateway through here. There's one into the grass field just over there, I can just see, and there's a gateway into that ploughed field there, which we don't own. That's field 44 rather. The gateway that we want is down here opposite the sheep farm, so we've got to come down here, hoping that this header does in fact stay locked onto this trailer. I really hope it does. It's going to be somewhat embarrassing if it rolls off onto the road. And right, there's a car coming there, so I'm going to wait for him to come past. And is there anything coming that way? Right, there is a car coming there, but we can push out in front of him, because I think we can get through here. So I'm going to come right out across the road there. And ooh, that just missed that car. He stopped, but only just. Let's turn off the indicators. Okay, now I can come into cab a second. We want to come up here. I'm going to have to. I did that for a moment. I thought we had double gates here. We got a great big puddle here that we've got to get through. This could be interesting. Let's open up this gate, and now we want to try and bring this one into the field without tipping it off. Okay. Should be okay, actually. And I will come out of cab. Look at that. That is brilliant. Look at all the mud. I like that. I really do. I am impressed with the mud. The mud always impresses me. Now, I don't really want to drive around too much. I'll swing this one round as tight as I can. Like that. And so that we're opposite the gateway like that. And now I'm going to go and get the combine. I got down here without any trouble whatsoever, and just wanted to have a quick look around. Right, while I'm inching forwards, I'll just open that up, and we'll get the header. We also need to make sure we remember to turn the straw swath on, because I am going to bale up everything that I can. We will stick with the round bales that we've with the round baler. So we just move that little tractor there out the way, and once I've started the combine, actually I'm going to need that tractor back, aren't I? I'm going to need the John Deere. So if I move this one, stick it right in tight to the hedge so that I got enough room to get round. Going to be a bit of a squeeze there. I think that'll be all right. Let's park that one there, and oops, climbing through the hedge there. Let's jump over that. Now we are ready to go. I've just got to make sure I've got the straw swath enabled, which is turn on harvester, pipe out, hire worker, fold harvester. It doesn't actually say. I'm going to need to close that gate as well, aren't I? So let's move up here. There we go. And you can't shut the gate from the outside. That is, it's occasionally you get these little things. They're just like tiny little details that it's kind of a niggle rather than a problem. It's certainly not a problem. Right, fold harvester. So where's the straw swather? Is that an option? The mouse for additional controls, and if I press G, that will just move it over onto there. Extend rent time on the header. Right, well, let's try starting up, seeing what it does. Is it going... Ah, there we go. Right, enable straw swath now. And put that on. There we go. There's the straw swath. I'm going to stay out of cab just to start with, so that we can see the straw swath in action. There we go. Look at that. Chucking it out on the ground nicely. I am going to need to rush off and get that John Deere, unload it, and then bring it into the field, aren't I? I can just swing round that once. I don't really want to be swinging round too tight on a corner, remember? Because of the thickness of the crop, it's going to damage the fingers. It's never a good thing. I've also got to keep an eye on that Deutz up there, because remember, we don't have all that much fuel in it. So this field isn't too big. I mean, it's a reasonable size. This is not massive, so I don't know how long this is going to take. I am deliberately staying out of cab for a little while so that I can just appreciate this machine, and also the crop, the texture for the crop. I quite like this, actually. It's a little bit different than standard game, and the straw swath as well. It is quite pleasing to the eye. And how far are we up so far? We're up to nearly 37%, 38. So we're almost 40%. Well, it'll be way past. So nearly half a tank just to get from here up to the gate, from the gate up to here. So it is going to take a little while to sort of finish this field off. I don't want to change there. I don't want to get too tight into that hedge because I'll damage the header. And swing back around. We've got a huge, great big grass field there. I think I might, at some point, pick out a field and we'll plough it. So a grass field, and we will plough it and turn it into a cropped field. Well, I'm thinking about it. I'm not quite sure which field, because we got a nice selection of everything in here at the moment. And it'll sort of be a case of, can we squeeze it in while we're playing this map, or are we going to... I just sort of watch it like that. I think that is going to be a good angle to see it. And then I don't have to bring up that extra... The extra camera is good, but it does interfere quite badly with the frame rates, which sort of makes the video a bit jerky, and I don't want to do that too much if I can help it. So, yeah, I was thinking of ploughing a field, but it might be that we do that in the next series after I've played this map, when we go to one that's got slightly smaller fields, because this is... I would class this as a medium-sized farm. It's got medium-sized fields. It's not massive, but there are some fair-sized fields in here that will take a little while to do. It's actually coming along quite... We're getting further around this field than I thought we would. I've come out of the crop a little bit too far there. It's now beeping at me. Can you hear it? It's a little high-pitched beep. I don't know if you can quite hear that or not. But that's to indicate that we are getting near full. And I've got to now decide and come out of cab so that I can see what I'm doing to turn around here. I got to decide where I'm going to unload. I don't think I can get round to there. So what I'm going to do is I'll go until I've reached 97%. And then what we used to do when I was driving a combine is you would just cut a little extra patch into the field. I'll show you in just a second. And that extra patch, you'd then be far enough in that the tractor could come up alongside you. Right, so I'll stop here, like that, lift up, and then I back up. We're about 95%, that'll be about right. So you don't want to have too much. And then all we do is lower down again. Oops, I actually turned on the lights there, I didn't mean to. Turn them off. Lower down again and just move into the crop like this. One width, and then we'll sort of make that right on the next pass. There. So I do that, and then I can lift up again, and I'll back up a little bit. And there. So I'm going to go and get that tractor now. I'll switch this one, I'll stop it from running anyway. There. We're now ready. I've got to go and get the tractor now. I've got to unload it, and I've got to bring it back over here so that we can tip this barley into it. Just back in there, and tip. Oop, just going to knock the trailer over a little bit. Not quite sure how far out that heap is going to expand. I've got to be a little bit careful because I can't catch the trailer on the roof of the shed there. It's going to be an unmitigated disaster if that happens. There we go. Right. Let's get back over to that combine. I did just pop up here very quickly to check on the Deutz and see how it was getting on. The patch of weeds that's in the field, unfortunately it doesn't get cultivated in either. We've been going on this field for quite some time now, and we haven't done very much. Oh, we have got a long way to go. So, whatever you decide for today's question, we're going to need something bigger, whether it's the cultivator and then the seed drill, or the direct drill. Either way, I'm going to need a bigger cultivator and a bigger drill. There we go, I'll just come up to the combine, I'll run straight under here. This should be, I'm hoping, directly lined up. There we go. Barley into the trailer. So we'll unload that. I'm actually... the combine can't quite get round me. I will need to move back out the way in a second. So we'll back it up, and then we'll continue on round the field with the combine. Okay, let's start this one back up again. And we can continue. Just pick that bit up there and get it just sort of lined up. There we go. Right, I'm going to come back into cab for a little while now. Okay, this is something new. The grain conveyor is blocked. You have to clean it before you can work again. Okay. And how do I do that? I've never seen this before. Let me just go in. Is there something I can do in cab? I'll have to go. Let me go here, and we will do manual unload. No current chopper. We don't need to worry about that. So it's not those two. That is the. That's the grain. Is that the grain conveyor, or is it inside the combine? That's outside, and that's outside. No, we'll turn those. Let's turn those off. I need to come out of the combine. And how do you clean it? Okay, I'm going to need. Let's bring that up so that I can at least see if I got any more options. Oh, right, clear straw bunch. Right. Yes, this brings back some rather grim memories. You got to go into the back and you got to clear the straw that's bunched up like that. So you sort of chuck it out onto the ground if something does go wrong, and then you've got to clean out your combine. It was never a particularly pleasant task. Right, I don't see anything else on here. Is that? It looks like that's all we got to do. No, it still says it's blocked. So now what? Can I turn it on again? Well, what do I do now then? I got no clue. I think I found it. I get back into the cab and lower the header down. And I think there's a whole load of stuff at the back of the header there by the look of it. So I'm wondering if I can get onto there and clean that. There we go. Right. Ah, clear. clear the straw bunch and clear the grain conveyor. So I'll clear the straw bunch first. Let's do that. And now clear the grain conveyor, which is the bit up the front there. And then over here, we clear the straw bunch again. Like that. Right, so I think that we were going just a tiny bit too fast, maybe, for the combine. Is it going to let me do it now? We start up. And we're away again. Right, that was a really nice touch. I really did like that as part of this combine. So let's continue on. And so you've got to be careful that the load doesn't exceed what the combine can do. We've been running at around 70%. I thought we were all right with that, actually. But I guess not. I guess that it did just creep up a little bit too high. So maybe if I just keep the header out a little bit so that it goes like that. I honestly can't remember what sort of percentages we ran our combines at. It was such a long time ago that I did this. I mean, maybe I need to just go a little bit slower or something. I don't like the idea of going slower. Slow has never been something that has appealed to me on a personal level. We've got a bit of... Oh yeah, it was our chopped straw there just when we first started. So I'll just bring this one straight out across here. And what I'm thinking is actually... I'll do once more around the field. And then I'm not actually going to need to do any more. Just pick up there. Turn that one off. Once more around the field, and then I can get the hired help to start doing some while we ferry grain back and forth. I've just come on a little bit further around the field just to get a little bit more done before I really have to go. I'm almost full on this tank. So yes, today's question: do you want me to get the in-game? That's it. Wasn't paying attention there. Do you want me to get the in-game 6-meter direct drill, or do you want me to get a modded 6-meter drill that will require cultivation before I can use the drill? I don't really mind either way personally on that one. Do you want me to cultivate first and then use a drill, or do you want me to use the direct drill? It's your vote, it's your game. Head down, if you've enjoyed this episode, then please head down below and give us a like, and if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. But until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar, goodbye, and see you later.